Dragon Ball Super episode 53 draws near as we come ever so closer to finding out Black's true identity. And today, guys, I want to go ahead and take a look at a few images with you guys that I caught while watching the preview. Now, the first image I want to go ahead and show are showcasing Zamasu and what seems to be presumably his master carrying some sort of a box. Now, the box does bear importance because we do get to see it later on in the preview, so one can only assume that Zamasu was told to go ahead and fetch the time ring box, and that's presumably what they're bringing out for Beerus and Whis. Now, we pan on over to the next image, and as you guys can see, we see Beerus, Whis, and this mysterious old Kai. Now, the reason why I'm saying he's an old Kai is if you go ahead and zoom on in, he looks to be very old due to his skin design. He's a yellow Kaioshin. I don't think we've ever seen yellow Kais before. We've seen green, we've seen the regular Kais that we've seen in Dragon Ball before, but in terms of one skin tone being yellow, I don't think that we've ever seen a yellow Kai before, and presumably enough, he is very, very old, so that could be an indication that he is the elder Kai of that particular planet. Now, we pan over to the box, and the box seems to be open, and if you pay close attention, if you look closely, inside of the box, you will notice that there are 5 rings. Now, some people might say, well, what's the big deal in that? We pan on over to the next image, and in fact, we get to see 4 green rings and 1 presumably whitish silver ring. Now, what I think is going on here, I think that Beerus and Whis are going to put Zamasu and his master into question, into further seeing whether or not any of the rings were taken, and judging based on how everything looks thus far, if you pay attention to the image, to me at least, it seems as if the whitish silver ring bears more importance than the other rings because it is located right in the middle of the box. So I think what Beerus and Whis are going to be asking for is if the time ring is missing, and in fact they're going to be shown that all the rings are in the box. So I do think that this is going to play a huge role into furthering Whis' investigation into figuring out what's going on. But then of course we pan on over to the next image, and we get to see Zamasu taking on a presumably Super Saiyan 2 Goku, and if you pay attention, it seems as if Zamasu is moving at such a speed where Goku is having quite a difficult time trying to get to him. And if you look at based off of how, you know, Zamasu is fighting, and especially the way his demeanor is, he looks to be very, very calm. Now again, there is no evidence to sustain that Zamasu is in fact black other than one thing, and that's his boots. Zamasu's boots and Black Goku's boots are eerily similar. They look very, 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 very eerily the same in a way, but the way, you know, Zamasu's fighting demeanor is, we get to see Goku throwing shots, and we get to see Zamasu evading Goku relatively easily, even as a Super Saiyan 2. Now again, Goku may not even be trying at this point, but if you pay attention, you see Zamasu pretty much evading all of Goku's attacks, and he seems to be relatively calm throughout the entire course of him fighting Goku. Now, we pan on over to the next image, and this is what I found very intriguing. We get to see Zamasu sort of try to attempt the same move that Beerus used against Goku, that being the knockout chop. Now, it looks very similar because as you guys can see, when Beerus fought Super Saiyan 3 Goku, he performed the exact same chop, and we get to see Zamasu try to attempt the exact same chop to Goku as they fought, but of course in the preview, Goku noticed right off the bat. So I do think that Zamasu is going to try to attempt to knock Goku out. Again, these were little things that I picked up. It could just be mere coincidence, but again, seeing how Zamasu approached Goku, it almost seems as if he wants to knock him out. And even seeing how relatively calm Zamasu is, it's almost as if Zamasu was able to remember Goku's fighting style. I mean, there were several scenes to where Zamasu was blocking off Goku. Every single time Goku threw a punch, he caught him and whatnot. So maybe Zamasu does hold some sort of bare significance to resembling Black here, because Black does remember Goku's techniques, Goku's fighting stances, Goku's powers, and even retaining some of his battle memories. So maybe perhaps Zamasu is in fact Black, remembering the battle between Beerus and Goku, and is attempting the exact same chop that Beerus performed on Goku, or that could just be mere coincidence. But yet again, guys, if you pay attention to some of these images, there are a lot of important things that will come about. Now, some people were pointing out Zamasu's earrings. Zamasu's earrings are completely different than Black's. Black has the green earring on, whereas opposed to Zamasu has the orange earring, which is again very different. So we can't really compare the earrings, at least as of right now, because Zamasu does bear 2 earrings, as opposed to Black bears 1. Now, towards the very end of the episode, we get to see Goku pretty much talking in the preview, and he says, "Hey, Beerus-sama, who is this Zamasu guy? A soon-to-be Kaioshin and a fighting prodigy. Doesn't that mean he's a super elite? Anyways, he's tough. That's much for sure, right?" So Goku right then and there asks Beerus, who is this Kaioshin who is supposed to be this fighting prodigy? Now, fighting prodigy, one can only assume how strong this particular soon-to-be Kaioshin is, especially if he's labeled as a fighting prodigy. He seems to be somewhat of a super elite compared to everyone else because he is able to stand up against someone like Super Saiyan 2 Goku. So to me, that says a lot about him, because even though he's not the most muscular, even though he's not the most imposing character, he seems to be keeping up with Goku relatively well. And of course, you know, the only reason why they're even there is because they want to make sure that, you know, Zamasu's ki isn't the same as Black's. And I do think that in some way, shape, or form, Zamasu may be masking his ki, hiding his energy from everyone else, because if you're hiding something, you don't want to expose it, especially to the people that are interrogating you. So I do think that Whis and Beerus and Goku are going to be pressuring Zamasu here, but again, he is supposed to be a soon-to-be Kaioshin, a fighting prodigy, one of the top elite fighters, and of course, he's going to be battling Goku. So leave your thoughts down below. What are your thoughts on the rings being shown in the preview? Do you guys believe that these rings are the time rings, or do you guys believe that these rings are completely different, or do you guys believe that the silver ring being shown is actually a decoy, somewhat of a fake ring, and Black was the one that took the original? Comment down below and let me know your thoughts on the images, guys. And what are your overall thoughts on Zamasu's boots, because they are the same as Black's, and the one particular scene where we get to see Zamasu attempt to chop Goku. Do you guys believe it is the exact same chop that Beerus tried to use or ultimately used on Goku? Comment down below and let me know. Again, guys, thank you all for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and a rating, all that good shit, everybody. Thank you all for watching. I'll be seeing you down in the comments to where I want to hear your thoughts and opinions as to what's being shown. And one more thing before we end it off, guys, I do want to stress the fact that Vegeta is one character that isn't being talked about thus far in this arc. And even though, yes, Goku does have a tie with Black as of right now in terms of similarities and the way they look, but the only one as of right now that does have more of a fuel to his anger than anyone else towards Black is Vegeta. And the reasoning behind that is because Vegeta is watching his own son go through serious pain, plus his wife was killed in the future. So Vegeta has a pure hatred of Black that's much deeper than Goku as of right now, which is why it gives Vegeta more of a reason to want to fight Black more than anyone else. And if you notice Vegeta's reaction to future Trunks this time around, I would have to say he's more genuinely proud of him. So once Vegeta gets his shot at fighting Black, I do believe that it will be a serious throwdown, because now Vegeta has more of a personal reason to throw down against someone like Black, only because he's watched his family be tortured, ironically enough, of course, by someone who looks exactly like the person that he hates. So I think that Vegeta as of right now has more motivation to go towards and train harder to defeat Black than anyone else. So I do think that we're underlooking Vegeta as of right now, because everyone is keeping their eyes seemingly on Goku and what he's going to do next, but I really think that everyone is underlooking Vegeta, because I think that Vegeta here is going to be a huge problem towards Black. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you guys believe that this is the best time for Vegeta to have his redemption? Comment down below and let me know. Again, everybody, thank you all for watching, and I'll be seeing you all later. God bless you all. Peace.